Hi guys, welcome. Today I'm going to share my version of homemade pizza, and this is one of my guilty pleasures, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. This is not an authentic Italian recipe or anything, this is just the way I prefer to make it. So if you guys want to see how I do this really delicious and quick and simple pizza, then keep watching. So I'm going to start off by making my dough. And over here I have 3.5 cups of flour. Ideally you want to use bread flour because bread flour has a lot more gluten in it, so it's going to give you a crispier crust. If you use regular flour, it's going to come out more chewy, which is what I like. So this is 3.5 cups, and we may need a little bit more while we're kneading, depending on how sticky the dough becomes. And you'll also need about 1.5 cups of lukewarm water. This water must be about 110 degrees Fahrenheit. You'll also need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You'll need 1 teaspoon of sugar, white sugar, 1 packet of yeast. I think this is 2.25 teaspoons. Yeah, it is. And I have 2 teaspoons of salt. So now we have to go ahead and knead our dough. So if you're doing this with your hands, it's going to be quite tedious, but I'm going to use my hand mixer. And I'm actually going to add just all the dry ingredients first. So once you've added that, just go ahead and give it a nice mix just to combine those dry ingredients. Okay, so once you mix that, you want to go ahead and add your oil, but keep your mixer on the lowest speed and just add in your oil first and then start adding water to create a nice dough. Don't add all the water one time, just add little by little while it's kneading, and then you want to get a nice kind of smooth dough, not too sticky. Okay, so I've kneaded my dough and I've used up most of the water. There's just a little bit remaining, probably about a tablespoon. So that was a perfect amount, but if you use all the water and it's still dry, you will have to just add some water until it forms a nice smooth dough. So as you can see, my dough it's soft but it's not sticky. So if you knead it and your dough is very sticky, you want to add a little bit of flour at a time and continue letting it mix. But mine is perfect at this stage, so I'm gonna just continue kneading it until it forms a firm ball. So now I'm just gonna add a little bit of flour on this, and I'm just gonna knead it until it comes together into a nice firm ball. So the dough is finished kneading and it looks perfect now. As you can see, it's come together into a nice ball and it's firm and nice. So what you want to do is just put it in a bowl. I'm leaving it in this bowl, and you just want to put about 2 teaspoons of oil and just kind of pat the dough with it. So now you're gonna leave it for about an hour to sit, and it's gonna double in size. And then I'll come back and show you what we'll need for the rest of the ingredients. So I have quite a few ingredients. I'm gonna call out the toppings for the pizza first. which is the vegetables and the chicken, and then I will show you what you'll need for the sauce. So I have here 2 bell peppers that I sliced or julienned. You can also cube these if you don't like it into strips. I just have 2 jalapenos here that I chopped finely. This is totally optional. I just use this to substitute for pimento peppers. I love to put pimento peppers in pizza because it has a very mild taste, but it gives a little bit of heat as well. I have a whole red onion that I just cut into fine cubes. I have some chicken breast. I seasoned this with some Italian seasoning, some salt and black pepper, and I sauteed it for about 4 minutes. You don't want to fully cook it because when you put it on the pizza, it's gonna cook further. So don't cook this fully because it's just gonna be too dry. And at the back there, I have a lot of mushrooms. I just sliced it into big slices. So for the sauce now, I have a can of tomato sauce, a can of tomato paste, some crushed red pepper, Italian seasoning, onion powder, cayenne pepper, some salt, a little bit, about a tablespoon of green seasoning, just to give it a nice Trini kick. I love to put some green seasoning in my sauce. I have a whole head of garlic that I just grated finely, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of pepper sauce, that's just homemade pepper sauce. You can omit that if you don't want any pepper in your pizza. So that's what we're gonna need to make the sauce. And then you'll need cheese, obviously, to top the pizza with. You can use whatever type of cheese you have. Traditionally, if it's a Trini pizza, you would use the New Zealand cheddar, which is the Trinidad cheese. But I like mozzarella on my pizza. You can use any type of cheese that you would like. And for my crust, I like to put some sea salt on it. So I'm just gonna be adding some sea salt to the crust after we've topped it. And now I'm gonna make the sauce and we're gonna let it sit for a couple minutes. So to make our sauce now, you want to add 3/4 cups of warm water. Add your tomato paste. And this is quite thick. That's why we're adding the water, to kind of thin it down. Once that's stirred, add your tomato sauce. The green seasoning. Garlic. Pepper. The sugar, and sugar is optional. You can use honey in place of sugar, or you can omit it completely. It just gives the sauce a nice sweet taste, but it's not overly too sweet because you want all the flavors to marry together. So I'm gonna let this sit and then I'll come back and show you how we spread out our dough. So it's been about 2 hours now that my dough has been sitting, and as you can see, it's really doubled in size. Now you just want to kind of punch down on it just to release the air, and then you want to form it into 2 dough balls. And now just put it on your surface to rest again for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and spread it out and assemble the pizza. So we're gonna start off by spreading out the dough, and this is a really crucial step because as soon as you spread it out, you want to flour your pizza peel if you have one of these. It's like a wooden thing where you put the pizza on and you slide it onto your pizza stone. So I have my pizza stone heating up in the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. If you do not have a pizza stone, you can place this on maybe like a pot cover or something, a flat pot cover. It has to be metal. So you want to start off by flouring both sides of your dough. And you can see how nice and soft the dough is. Make sure you get the ends. And just use your hands to kind of spread it out. Use your fingers as well. If you want, you can also use a bailna or a rolling pin. Now you want to take the dough and put it onto your knuckles, and you're just gonna kind of spread it out. You're doing this to stretch the dough. So my dough is pretty thin, but I like my crust to be really thin, so I'm not a pro at this pizza stretching thing, so I'm just gonna kind of flatten the ends a little more. Okay, so now I'm gonna flour my pizza peel. And when you put your dough onto this, you're gonna have to move quick because you don't want the dough to stick to this, because you want to slide it off onto your pizza stone. So once you transfer your dough, we're gonna start adding our toppings. So the first thing you want to add is your tomato sauce. So first I'm gonna add my mushrooms. Then you can add your garlic, your onion, sorry. Okay, so now I'm gonna add my sliced olives. My jalapenos, some green peppers, now you're gonna go ahead and just add your cheese on top. But before we do that, you want to sprinkle a little bit of sea salt at the edges of your crust and just kind of press it down with your fingers. Okay, so make sure that your pizza peel is really floured so that you can just slide it off onto your pizza stone. So I'm gonna put this in the oven to bake for about 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. Okay, so my pizza just came out of the oven and it smells fantastic. And while it's hot, what you want to do is take your pizza cutter and just cut your slices. And I usually like to eat mine when it's really hot, but you can wait for it to cool down and then eat it. So I'm gonna slice these up and set it aside, and then I'm gonna assemble my next pizza. So I just took out the last pizza and it looks so perfect. I just had to show you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and while your pizza is baking, make sure you turn it halfway in between, and if you're using thinner doughs like for your crust, make sure you put it in the oven for less time. So like if you're doing a thick crust, you want to put it for 20 minutes, but if you're doing a thin one like this, you want to put it for about 15 to 17 minutes. And I would really recommend that you get a pizza stone, because if you're a lover of pizza and you love to make pizza, if you have a pizza stone, your pizzas are gonna come out perfect, like when you buy it at like an Italian restaurant or something, because it's very similar to how the pizza comes out when you put it in a brick oven. So I hope you guys enjoy this pizza recipe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to see all my latest videos, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!